What's up, sports bettors? Lines are on the move. You can see Ball State versus Vermont. Lines moving around. We have DraftKings and DraftKings Tennessee because it looks like they add in more juice in Tennessee. And the line movements are highlighted in green and red. So you can see Ball State just moved from plus 150 to plus 145. South Carolina just moved from minus 1,004 to minus 954. So again, I say this all the time, but as players get injured, right, as sharp action comes in, this is a market. This is just like the stock market. It's not static. Lines are always moving. So as a sharp bettor, we use OddsJam as our Bloomberg terminal to find sharp bets. Bets with an actual edge, right? The purpose of these videos is to help make you a better sports bettor, like actually a better sports bettor. We're not like, oh, Lakers +6 because LeBron, he looked good coming off the bus. There's no BS, right? This is all about data, strategies that actually make money. And again, another thing I like to say is I ride with you guys on all these plays, right? Winning streaks, Vikings -2.5, over 137, Memphis, Seton Hall. These were plays we gave out on YouTube, IUPUI +12. These are plays that, I'm giving out on YouTube or I'm giving out on Twitter. And again, I'm riding with you guys on all of them. So let's go ahead and let's get into a few of the bets. So the first one I have, this one moved on me, or I would have bet it, because sometimes people are like, why didn't you take that higher profit margin bet? And again, the answer is this market's dynamic. If there's an incredibly good play, like Louisiana Tech +7.5, who moved from being a +7.5 underdog to now they're like +5, so a lot of action came in on them. I don't know if someone's injured on Samford or it's just sharp action coming in, but the market started ripping towards them. I missed this play. I say this all the time, but you're kind of day trading sports, right? So the first bet I went with is right here. Harvard money line +128, 195.30. So I'll go ahead and I'll just add it to the sheet. So we have Harvard money line 195.30, and that's at +128 odds today on 11/25. Again, this sheet's in the description. You'll notice it's just tracking the profit and loss of all plays I've given out since the start of football season. It says here, no promos, no fantasy. I figured fantasy wasn't sports betting, so there's no like prize picks, underdog, fantasy. And then promos, like there's no risk-free bets or something like that because I consider that cheating, right? These promos are just like, they're designed to be profitable. So there's a lot of good ones, right? Like, FanDuel will give you your money back if the USA doesn't beat England. No-brainer promo, but I'm not going to like include it in my profit and loss because it's just a no-brainer promo. So we have Harvard +128. That's the first play I went with. This one I missed. You're day trading sports. You got to go quick. You got to know how to navigate these sports books. So the first play I went with is right here. Stony Brook, Eastern Washington, over 137. And again, you need multiple sports books. You can't get Harvard +128 on Caesars. This is why it's important to have more sportsbook accounts, more. The more books you have, the more profitable betting opportunities, the more arbitrage bets, whatever. So this is the first play I went with, 3.46% profit margin. And if we click into the odds, what you're going to notice is, wow, Caesars is really asleep at the wheel. Every other sportsbook, they have the line set at 138.5 or 139. Pinnacle offers these alternate lines, right? They're a very sharp, efficient, sophisticated sportsbook, right? Their odds are very indicative of the true win probability for a bet. And, you can see here, they kind of line up with FanDuel. A lot of sportsbooks are at 139, and you can see kind of the market here. So basically, Caesars is 2 points lower than kind of the rest of the market. So we have all these other sportsbooks. I say this all the time, but you treat them as independent data points of where the line should be set. So we have, 10 sportsbooks, whatever, all telling us, Caesars is asleep at the wheel. You should be on this play. This line should be 2 points higher. We're getting it over 137 on Caesars. So that's what I mean too when I say like people, a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm on the over. It's like, are you on the over 137? Are you on the over 138? Are you on the over 139? Because if the game has 138 points, my over on Caesars is going to win, right? The over 139 on BetOnline loses. So it depends, right? But very clear value in this play. And again, I say this all the time too, but when you're a sharp bettor, when you're betting at -110 odds, like you don't need to win 100% of your bets. to be a profitable bettor. When you're betting at minus 110 odds, you only need to win above 52.38% of your wagers. So I say this a lot too, but like these games, they always go over or they go under, right? So if we go to, basketball, it's like this game's going over 213.5 or it's going under 213.5. They're equal and opposite. So the sportsbook's leg up on you is the juice, right? They force you to bet 11 to win back 10. And you can comment if you have any questions. But long story short, they force you to bet 11 to win back 10, which doesn't really seem fair if you think about it, because the game always goes over or under. So what would be fair is forcing you to bet, 10 to win back 10. But regardless, at minus 110 odds, you just need to win 52.4% of your wagers to break even. So when we're finding plays that are 2 points off from the rest of the market, we're increasing our win probability from 50%, like a recreational bettor, just picking over or under, who has no knowledge of markets and math, and we start winning our plays 55, 56% of the time. Not 100% of the time, right? We still go on losing streaks, which I show in my bet tracker all the time. Like, there are brutal losing streaks, brutal losing streaks. And what I recommend, I haven't even synced them all, but if you have the time, like just sync a few of your sports books. It's not going to be an accurate representation of your profit and loss forever, because it only works with like 6 sports books. If you have DraftKings, FanDuel, they don't work with this company called Sharp Sports. So what Sharp Sports does is they just like automatically pull your bets from the sports books. So we integrated it with our bet tracker, so people could like sync their sports book. So you can see here, I just ended up syncing BetMGM in a few states, Caesars, right? It's a different account in every state. Like, due to US regulation, you need a WinBet Virginia. There's a WinBet Arizona. So if you've lived in numerous states or you've traveled, you have to link them all. So I got to go through and do that all. But long story short, you'll be able to see kind of your profit and loss over time, and it will automatically pull your bets and grade them as wins or losses. And like, I know it's not sexy using a bet tracker, but like it's important, because over a large sample size of bets, you really should know if you made or lost money. And this makes it really easy because it will automatically pull your bets and just tell you won, lost, consolidate everything. So let's go back here. Stony Brook, Eastern Washington. That's the first play we're on. Cool. Then straight up, market moved. New Mexico State, plus 3.5. Lines ripping away towards them. So you can see here, we got plus 3.5. Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker, has this minus 144. WinBet, 1 point lower at plus 2.5. Honestly, still looks a little good. Rest of the market at plus 2 or plus 1.5. Again, 2 points in value. That's what makes this play profitable. Is it guaranteed to win? No. Is it a lock? No. Take that word out of your vocabulary. But does it have an edge? Yeah, absolutely. Will it win over 52.38% of the time? Yeah. Right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, all these sports books are data points telling you where the line should be set. The way you make money sports betting isn't blindly betting over or under. Right? You're not going to beat. What I always say, and I started writing more on the OddsJam blog too, so you can feel free to like check out my author page. But if you're blindly betting based on watching sports, it means 2 things. One, you think you're smarter than everyone else betting on college basketball today, because the market is where it is based on supply and demand, right? So you think if you're betting, let's say the NFL, you're betting spreads. Why are you smarter than the tens of millions of other people betting on the NFL? And why are you smarter than the millions of dollars sportsbooks put into their sophisticated models, right? The only way you can make money sports betting is you let OddsJam, follow the line movements, update millions of odds in real time, and show you those rare few betting opportunities. You can see there's not that many, even though it's a busy day in sports. You got NBA, you got college basketball, you got a bunch of different stuff. Even though it's a busy day in sports, this is a play, Caesars is asleep at the wheel, clearly on New Mexico State. So most bets on Caesars aren't profitable. If you look at like the NBA as an example, there's so much different stuff you can bet on. All these alternate lines, they probably have, 50,000, 100,000 odds on their site, but they're not perfect, right? They're not 100% accurate. They screw up occasionally And that's when you get plays like Stony Brook, Eastern Washington over 137, or they're clearly asleep at the wheel on New Mexico State plus 3.5. So you're just looking. You don't need to play on every game, right? You're looking for those few rare betting opportunities that are profitable each day that have an edge. So final play is New Orleans plus 6. So you'll see that right here. Plus 6, once again, a point and a half off from the rest of the market. This is all college basketball, but this applies to any sport, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Finding value, beating the vig, beating the juice, it's how you make money, right? So, like, this bet on the Aggies had a 5.5% EV, right? We hit it for, let's go back to Caesars. Here's our bet on Denver, 500. Here's a bet on New Mexico State, 1750. And here's our bet. I also hit this random World Cup bet, but whatever. Here's our bet on Eastern Washington, 1500. So these two bets, like this bet on New Mexico alone, is worth 96.25 in EV, which means if you told me, hey, I'll give you $50 for your bet, I'm going to tell you no, because my bet has a 5.5% profit margin and I staked it for $17.50, which means my bet has $96.25 in EV, in profit margin. Right? So like, and what's crazy is it's not going to happen, but you can imagine if you could earn a 5.5% return in college basketball every single day. This game is today. Think about the returns over the course of a month. 30 days in a month, you'd be earning like an 160% return. Every month, your bankroll would be growing 160% if you could deploy your entire bankroll on bets every single day, which doesn't happen, right? But like, which isn't possible, right? Sportsbooks have limits. They have all these different things. This isn't passive income, whatever. But like, if you could even earn a 2% edge in college basketball, 30 days, your bankroll will grow by 60% month over month. Same with NBA, obviously. Same strategy every sport. So hopefully this video was helpful. Let's make some frickin' money.